that would get canceled. So it's like if you say something,
okay, here, well, I'll use let's talk about the Hannah thing. Well, we're talking about comedy and cancel, because that's a good example. And you haven't heard the tweets yet, right? I want Mel's opinion too.
No, so but Mel knows about people stealing comedy right there.
This is somebody that they're trying to cancel right now. Do you watch Summer House?
No, what is Summer House? I'm such a lame-o. What is
I don't watch it either.
I watch like one episode. The show's garbage. But anyways, there's a girl on it named Hannah, and she's somebody who is like a huge like Instagram, Twitter funny person. She tried to do stand-up. And I think she's going to be the same type of person that Cindy's talking about, like the TikTok people that are now trying to do shows.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, in the last week or so, somebody did an article on her. So she's big on posting her jokes like on Twitter.
They're like memes, you know, they do the little memes like Chris, like you do.
So
right.
On okay, so this guy posted, they don't have his name, it just says Kyle. 1 minute you're all young and cool, the next minute you're excited about buying a new vacuum. This guy posted this in July of 2018. In May of 2019, Hannah posted, 1 minute you're young and fun, and the next minute you're excited about a crock pot.
And people probably thought it was, the younger people probably thought she's genius.
Yeah, right? So then this woman posted on December 17th of 2020, companies be trying to blend their unsubscribe button in with their regular font, but I'm going to find that bitch every time. You know, like the little X to close out of the page. So then Hannah posts, that was December 17th, December 18th, she posts, where can I put on my job resume that you're really fucking good at finding the unsubscribe button on any email, no matter how tiny they make the font?
Okay. All right. I got to say something about this.
Hold on. One more.
Okay. Go ahead.
So then like 2 days later, somebody posts, if you're in his DMs, my hair is clogging his shower drain. We're not the same. 6 hours later, Hannah posts, you're in his DMs, my hair is clogging his shower.
Okay,
so
that's a total ripoff right there.
It is.
That's
just coincidence.
No,
there's no chance.
No. Okay. So I have many, obviously as a comic, I have many thoughts on all of this joke stealing stuff that people discuss. Okay. So I know a couple people that wanted to get into comedy and it just, wasn't for them, but they're great writers. And now I know one guy who's writing for a touring comic. Okay. Somebody who's going to all the clubs. He's now writing for him. He's like, he knew him and he met him at open mic and decided, they became good friends and they're the same kind of age. So like their comedy, so now he writes for him. He knows him, they're friends. He writes jokes, like punches him up. Like, you know what I mean, Mel? Like me and you would like sit down and do a whole writing session and you would throw me some stuff, whatever, So that's all right. Touring jokes like Kevin Hart, Amy Schumer, they are not just writing all that material by themselves.
Oh, okay.
Right. They have people that help them punch up their jokes. They know your material, but you know what I mean? And that's all, everybody knows that happens in the comedy world. You know what I mean? But that's because you're in a room, you're working with someone, you're writing. It's, everyone's like aware. Right. We're a team. You know what I mean? Now, there's people who are basic comedians that do basic jokes that anybody could do. Okay. So I do material about my Apple Watch. I talk about my Apple steps. You know what I mean? I do the joke about, you know what I mean? Siri, if the bitch tells me to get up one more time, my Apple phone buzzes and I tried to drown her in the hot tub, blah, blah, blah. I just do all that. But that's very basic. I mean, Fortune Feimster does a joke about, I think about Fitbit. I went to see another female comic when I was down in Fort Lauderdale. She opened for a big comedian, and she did a whole bit on her Fitbit, and it's the same premise.
Yeah.
They're different, but
it's relatable. It's why
it's
people
right.
do it.
Everyday stuff, right?
Yes, but it's very easy to overlap jokes when you're doing basic comedy like that. Okay. So if I'm opening for someone at the club and I don't know their material, which I mean, I opened up for, trying to think, Dana Goldberg was one. Okay. She's a very big lesbian comic. And I had to send video footage in. She was coming to Rochester. She needed someone to open, and somebody put out a call, and I sent it in, and she, had picked me, and she's like, I would love for you to open. Wonderful, amazing comic. It was my first time ever opening in front of a room full of gay people. I mean, I can't thank her enough for that. But I went and listened to as much of her comedy before, because if she did a joke, you know what I mean, about like an Apple Watch, I would have dropped mine.
Yeah, that's good.
Right, because I mean, out of respect, you know what I mean? Like, she probably wouldn't have given a shit. Like, none of them were like, whatever, you know what I mean? But I would not. I'm like, you know what? Nobody wants to hear someone telling jokes about the same shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know if maybe other people that open or whatever host do the same thing. Listen, try to make sure you don't do the same material. But all right. So back to my original. That's another form of not really stealing, but coincidental. Your jokes do overlap. It's there's only so much you can, right? Like I say, you can get out of a Fitbit jokes or out of there. You know what I mean? You stretch it as far as you can.
Like, everybody's gonna have COVID jokes now, right?
Right. And the COVID jokes
go so far. You can only talk about.
I mean, I have a whole bunch of little one-liner COVID jokes, and when it was my basic when it first COVID came out, and people were losing their, would get the shortness of breath, and I was like, I got so short of breath today. I was afraid I had COVID, and then I realized, no, I just vacuumed. But that's very basic. You know what I mean? Anybody could, there's probably been tweeted out 15 of those exact jokes already.
Yeah.
But it's so basic, you know what I mean? It was something that I was just sitting there like, oh, am I short of breath, or did I just wash the floor? You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's an example of something that's very basic that anybody, for even close to word for word, could do that dumb joke. I was short of breath, thought I had COVID, blah, blah, blah. Now, with someone completely stealing, let's just call them memes. There is a special name for those little things they tweet out. And I don't know, but I'm just going to call it a little meme. Something so weird as a DM in your hair in the drain? No, I would have never.
Yeah, that's way too close.
Yeah.
That's way too close.
Yeah. And
she's excuse me, but she's got balls to do something. Like, she doesn't even care, right? To do something like that.
And she's not the only one. I mean, I in local comedy here, I have seen people word for word type out
I remember
someone else's meme and post it, and there's a lot of people that do it, and that's a little weird. You really, if it's a Twitter one like that, Jen, and we reshare it on our Instigators page, I always leave the name of the original poster in that.
Yeah,
if I can.
If it's there.
If it's there, I would never cut it out or retype it and pretend it was mine. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I always try to leave, especially on Twitter, because sometimes, people do like, that was funny. Let me see who that was. I'll go follow.
Yep.
So I always try to. If I'm just on some funny meme group that I haven't had time, Jen, thank you for taking care of our page. I just haven't had time to share a lot of memes on there. But I, even when I go in there, if I see it, somebody like typed it out and it like looks like theirs, I'll try to leave their name in. They, to give them credit for it.
It's well, that woman, did she get called on it? Did somebody call her on her crap?
Well,
somebody did a full article on her about it with all the examples of the.
Good. Well, that's good, because that's the thing. I mean, that she's got this instant fame, right? Just for right, and then she's got to be held accountable.
Well,
Yeah.
she does do stand up, and I have not seen her, but I heard she's got a pretty tight 40 minutes. But it's that age group. You know what I mean?
Hers now.
Let's see if I can.
How much of it is hers now?
What is her name? Hannah? The whole name is Hannah?
Yeah.
Hannah
I mean,
what?
Depends. Like her set might be about her being on reality TV. So 100% that's her stuff. That's her experience. Like it totally depends what she's
right.
talking.
But I think if you're pressured to come up with something like funny every day, there's only so many. Some people are just amazing at it. Christy Teigen is one of them. I mean, her Twitter, she's hysterical. And usually people that, can write probably can't get up on stage and perform. When they do these little, one-liners, I mean, it's a whole new ballgame. I mean, when you have to get up and like completely carry that. But I mean, I don't know how well she is at it, but yeah, she definitely, this particular case is I think it's, complete joke theft. And you know what? You got to live with yourself, and if you had to cancel every person that has stole another meme and claimed it as theirs, Jen, the list is miles long.
The problem for me is that she has a huge following. So she's getting a ton of credit for sharing that. But the other person might get like a couple thousand shares.
I get it.
Like hundreds of thousands of shares.
I mean, Amy Schumer's been accused of being a joke thief. Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you what, one of the biggest people that people have accused is Robin Williams.
Oh, I've heard that. Yeah.
Big joke thief.
Did I, if I'm correct, did he apologize?
I'm not sure. Like I say, I didn't really follow all of that, but I just know that a lot of people. I'm going to
start a nice rumor. Robin Williams apologized for stealing the joke before he died.
Yeah, but I don't think it's just one joke. I think it's like he had a pattern. She's not that big compared to some other people that have been busted. Like I said, Amy Schumer has been accused of being a joke thief. But I listened to the joke that they accused her of stealing, and it was a comic from like 15 years ago that did it. And I think it was definitely basic too, where anybody could have, you know what I mean? It wasn't a very personalized joke. Like if someone goes out and starts telling joke about their porn star sister-in-law, then they're ripping off my shit, But you know what I mean? If I do jokes about my kids, I mean, everybody has funny, basic jokes about their kids. It's tough.
Like Cindy said, sometimes you just have this coincidence, right? Because right now people are going to tell, certain things that people experiences, but when it's word for word and it's more than one, to me, it's just, you have to hold that person accountable. It's not okay.
Let's get into what happened today with Ted Cruz.
That was just, I understand. Like, Texas is bad. They have no water. They have no heat. They have no electricity. I told them to go somewhere warm.
Yeah, like to their living room, huddled under a blanket.
They told them to go somewhere warm?
No, Ted Cruz got busted today.
Well, they told the Texas people they have all these warming centers they've set up all over the city, and they
said, to go somewhere to get warm.
If you're that cold in your house, go somewhere warm. We have all these warming centers and everything. He just didn't want to take up a spot and went to Mexico.
And he went to Mexico.
But did he actually go? Because they busted him at the airport. Did he actually get on the plane?
Yes, he went there and then he realized he was screwed and he turned around and went back.
Oh, he did go back.
Yeah, then he made up some bullshit that he was just there dropping his daughters off and his wife. Then he was flying right back.
Oh yeah, a lot of men drop off their wife and daughter to Mexico. Yeah, that's kind of shifty. Go to Mexico.
My dad won't even drop me off at the airport. He's not taking me to a whole other country.
I saw pictures of him with a suitcase, like he was, in a mask.
Oh, he was carrying it for his wife and his kids and stuff because he's
he got on the plane and then he turned around and he came back. Bottom line is he's in I don't know, they're defend him, whatever. He tried there's proof that he booked the ticket home at 6:30 this morning after the news of photos of him got released in the airport, and he turned around really quick and booked his ticket back here. So yeah,
We had a politician here before Christmas